everyone, I hope you're all having a great day. I just wanted to film a video about how to deal with stress. These are my personal little tips that I have come to realise really help with when I'm personally stressed, and I really just wanted to share them with you because at the end of the day, everyone suffers from stress, whether it's at one point during your life, which you're very lucky if that's it, or whether it's an everyday occurrence. I think everyone deals with stress in a different way. It definitely affects different people in different ways, which is absolutely normal, of course. No one is exactly the same. And I definitely feel like everyone has a different perception of stress. It's almost like pain threshold in a way. I feel like some people are more sensitive to stress, whereas some people are a little bit more used to it and know how to deal with it naturally. I think I personally do get quite stressed. Maybe I'm on the sensitive side, but I've definitely over time learnt how certain techniques can definitely help and just make those stressful situations less stressful. I also realised when I was researching about mental health and awareness around stress that actually the whole of April is National Stress Awareness Month, and this was news to me. I didn't know about this. I knew that there was a National Stress Awareness Day, but I didn't know there was a whole month dedicated to this. So this seems like the perfect time to do it, whether it's accidental or not, but I just thought this would be a great way to raise that awareness about stress and also just help you generally on how to deal with it. My first point is to have some time on your own. So when you're feeling like you are in a state of stress, I think it is really important to find a quiet room or just somewhere that you find is quite peaceful and just be there totally alone. Close the door, leave phones outside of the room or laptops, anything that will distract you. Just be totally on your own and in the zone and think about why you are feeling stressed. This might seem like it's really obvious, but I think sometimes we do just hold a lot of tension in our shoulders and our chest, and we do just feel stressed, and maybe we don't know why. So taking this time on your own to actually think about why you're stressed can really help to resolve it. And maybe there are no specific reasons for you feeling stressed, but taking this time on your own to actually close your eyes and think about how you're feeling, why are you feeling like this? Are you stressed? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you frustrated, anxious? Whatever those emotions are, just really take this moment to embrace that and feel that and understand it. It may be that there actually are reasons why you're stressed. Maybe something's going on in your family or work or your love life, something that is causing stress. And taking that time apart, you can really think about these problems and issues and quietly try to think about ways to resolve them. And number 2 is breathe. This is one that you will hear a million times, and it really does work. There's a reason why breathing is such an important aspect to dealing with stress or anxiety. It's because it really does work. And it sounds so simple, like literally just breathe, but there is a technique in it. And one thing that I have noticed is that when I'm stressed, my shoulders go really up high, like towards my ears, my chest feels really tight, and I end up shallow breathing from my chest. And the aim is to actually really slow that breathing down. So deep breaths in and then out, really, really slowly. You want to focus on breathing slowly and breathe from your belly. So you want it to come from your belly and not your chest. And just consciously roll those shoulders down. Just breathe, and preferably you want to be doing this again in a quiet room on your own so that you have no distractions and all you are thinking about is your breathing. So hopefully at this point you've already sat down and you've thought about why you're feeling stressed. Now it's time to breathe. You can do this standing up or sitting down, but one thing that I find really helps is to have one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And I do like to do this sitting down because I'm just slightly more comfortable that way. Get cozy, find a blanket, couple of cushions, really get comfortable. Hand on chest, hand on belly, close your eyes and just think about how you're breathing. Number 3 is eat well and exercise. These are more things that will really help with stress. I'm not saying you must do this when you're feeling stressed, because obviously there are some situations where this is absolutely impossible. When we're feeling stressed or anxious, we often turn to food for comfort. And the problem is, when we're feeling stressed or kind of down about ourselves, we don't love ourselves as much. So you can be the healthiest person in the world, but when you're feeling down or stressed, you almost don't care anymore and you just want to eat the rubbish food. You want to eat all the chocolate and the salty processed foods because you just don't care. You just want that comfort, and often comfort is in quite bad foods. However, that's really not going to make you feel any better. If anything, it can make you feel worse. It really isn't going to have a good effect on your body and your mind. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you've got to eat healthy 100% of the time. You've got to allow yourself treats as well. You know, that's just human nature. We've got to have those things that we absolutely love, even if they're a bit naughty. But do that when you're in a really good state of mind so that you're actually enjoying it and you know that, yeah, you know, I'm going to treat myself today and I'm going to have some foods that aren't necessarily that great for me. But don't do that when you're in a bad state of mind, because you'll probably regret it. It won't make your body feel good, and it just generally isn't going to help anything. Good food is really going to nourish your body. If anything, you need to eat better when you're feeling stressed, because all of those nutrients are just going to have a really, really good effect on your body. The same goes for exercise. Now, I definitely have this. When I'm feeling really stressed, the last thing I want to do is go to the gym, mainly because I feel like I have no time. If there's stuff going on with work and I'm really stressed, I just think, I can't possibly even think about going to the gym right now. And I'm not saying drop everything in the middle of the day to go to the gym. But the thing is, exercise really helps with reducing those stress hormones. So when we are really stressed, we do produce those stress hormones called cortisol. And when that's really high, it's hard to get rid of that bad energy. Going to the gym can really, really help ease that. Especially those really fast-paced workouts like boxing. You really can take your anger out, and it is a way to vent those emotions. So if you're feeling really tense, stressed, angry, going and doing like even a 20-minute quite fast-paced workout is almost like a relief. Like, okay, I've got rid of that, like almost the adrenaline of stress. Like, it really does help to reduce those stress hormones. So if you are going through a period of feeling quite stressed, try and go to the gym in the morning and just seeing if that helps. And if going to a gym isn't quite as accessible for you, going on a run is just as great. And running may not be as kind of intense as boxing, but it almost has a better effect on your mind because you're just thinking, and it is a way of meditation. For me personally anyway, I really love running when I do feel stressed or anxious. Going on a run just allows you to switch off from everything and just thinking about your run, and you can go over the things that are making you feel stressed on the run, but hopefully it will help, and by the time you get back, it is again that relief of, okay, yeah, I've got rid of the crazy tense feeling. Number 4 is don't suppress your emotions. I actually think the easy option with stress is to ignore it and suppress it and push it aside in your mind and, you know, lock that door and just don't think about it and almost, you know, deny that anything's happening and you're stressed. Like, no, I'm fine. But this will get to a point where you keep doing this and that door is going to have so much pressure on it that eventually it's going to burst open and you will explode. And that's when you're hit with all of these emotions of stress and anxiety and, you know, just feeling down or angry, whatever it is, however stress affects you, everyone is different. And that's why it's actually so important not to push these emotions aside and just welcome them in and figure out why you're feeling like this, what's happening, and just let it all out. Just let it out. Cry if you need to, scream, like whatever it is, whatever emotions you're feeling, just let that out. Sometimes there's nothing better than just having a cry. And sometimes it can be any kind of trigger, or sometimes it can be when you're literally just thinking about it and you let those emotions into your mind and then all of a sudden it just hits you. I've even heard about yoga can have this effect on a lot of people. If you're burying loads of emotions, suddenly you do certain movements and stretches and it's this trigger of some kind. I don't know how it works, but it just opens the waterworks, and I think that's amazing. It's a good thing because you need to let these emotions out, otherwise it will just all get too much. Number 5 is talk to someone, and I know this is literally the total opposite of what I said at the beginning of this video, where you should take some time on your own. But I think you need to do both of these. So you need to have that time on your own, obviously, like I said, to focus on your emotions, think about how you're feeling, and just have that quiet moment. But at the same time, it's equally just as important to then open up to other people and talk to others about how you're feeling. I actually really struggle with this. I naturally hold everything in. I'm not very open with my emotions. I think even to myself sometimes I shut myself off from my own emotions, but that is not good, and that is not what we want to do. Even if I really want to talk to someone, I just find it really hard to do it. I don't know why. It's just when I'm feeling like down, sad, angry, I just close off. I literally shut myself off to the world. That's not good, and that is not what we need to do. And I'm learning over time to actually open up to other people, and it's okay to let someone know that you're not feeling quite yourself, because it's amazing the advice that people may give you that you would least expect to hear. And sometimes you can play these scenarios or whatever it is that's stressing you out over and over in your head, and it builds up to something that is way out of proportion, and that's when you're feeling at the absolute peak of your stressful kind of state of mind. And then as soon as you've kind of load this onto someone else, they can sometimes just turn around and be like, do you know what, I don't think it's actually that bad if you do this and this, and if you think about it in this way. And they kind of see it from another perspective, like outside of the box, and that can just be such a relief, because you suddenly see it how they see it, and it's just like, yeah, why did I think that? I totally have just been playing this over and over in my mind. And I think even if that person has nothing to say, just loading all of this stuff off of you is like an instant relief. It can almost feel like a physical thing, having this stress inside of you that you haven't told anyone about. It's like literally your shoulders and your chest are so tight, and then letting someone know what's going on with you is like lifting that weight off of your shoulders, and it's just like, oh, someone else is in this now with me. It's not just me on my own. And I think that is great. Like, you'll be surprised how helpful other people can be. So they're just 5 techniques that I personally have found have really, really helped when dealing with stress. So I really hope this is helpful. Don't be ashamed to talk to other people. Everyone suffers from stress at some point, and if you don't, wow, I'm really envious of you, but I honestly think that's impossible. I think everyone suffers from stress at some point during their life, and like I said at the beginning, some more than others. Hopefully this has helped. Let me know any of your techniques in the comments, because I'm sure other people as well as me would love to hear what techniques you personally do to help with stress. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.